What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Ken. You know, it's been a few days since we did a video. I'm back down. I am down here in mid. I'm down in Texas, y'all. They always naming their cities and some freaking messed up name. Give me a second. I was gonna see if Viola here was gonna tell me exactly where I'm at. Okay, all right, I got it. Midlothian, Texas. Down on 67 South. Had my delivery is about 30 miles up the road. Delivers tomorrow. It is February 28th. It is 4:11 Eastern time, or 4:11 Central time, 5:11 Eastern time. And tomorrow I do a drop and hook. This Love's truck stop is packed. You just one of the Love truck stops. You got to get here early. I got here around 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central. I found the spot on the curb. I found a spot to park in, but I was like, I'm not gonna be out in the truck. It's kind of warm down here. If I park next to another truck, and then another truck parks next to me, it disrupts the airflow inside the truck. So I was like, I'm gonna park on the curb, get that nice airflow going through the truck. So today we're going to discuss a little bit my week. What my week last week was, and yeah, we're going to discuss all the shenanigans that happened last week, the good, the bad, the ugly. My week as a lease to purchase owner op. I don't got that long because I called my wife here in a few minutes. It is, to be a second, I keep track of the time. I got 15 minutes to call her. I called her a little late. Might be a little late, but I'm gonna call her. I just got through cleaning the truck. She's all wiped down and smelling all good. And yeah, so let's get started. Let's get into it. So my week last week was absolutely terrible. I mean, I've had bad weeks in trucking, but it is by far the worst week I've ever had driving a truck in my life. Okay, okay, so we're gonna get into it. Actually, it started off pretty good. I had a delivering down to Georgia for a live unload due Monday morning. I got there on time. They actually got me just about in and out. I was in the dock for like maybe 15-30 minutes, and then I was checked out on my way to my next pickup. So it started off great. I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm having a good week. And prior to that, I couldn't find a load on the load board coming out of Georgia. I couldn't find a client load coming out of Georgia that I can go pick up. I would at least have to wait a day to go pick it up. And I was like, I'm not waiting a day to go pick that up. So, plus it was 2-stop pickup in Georgia. And I'm like, kind of not feeling that. Too much work for too little. So I told my dispatcher, said, hey, look, I can't find the load off the load board that's blowing the socks off. So I said, I'm gonna just leave it up to you guys to get me a load. So he got me a load, picking up at Cargyle, down in Georgia, and delivering to a Walmart DC up in Washington Courthouse, Ohio, for a live unload, y'all. For a live unload. I really wasn't feeling a live unload at a Walmart. Like, everybody knows the reputation of Walmart. You've got to be there on time, and you can't be too early, but you can't be, if you're 1 minute late, that's considered late. Even if you were sitting in line waiting to check in at the gate, you check in at 9:01. You're late. I'm like, well, I was here on time. But anyway, we're not going to get to that. I digress. So I got to Cargill. I got there a few minutes late due to traffic. No big deal. And so they gave me a dock right away. I got into the dock. I said, okay. I did my pre-tripping, and like I'm sitting groovy, y'all. I'm sitting groovy. Like I'm like getting excited. I was like, ooh. If they don't take too long, I got enough time to get home and still a night at home and get a shower in my own shower, sleep in my own bed, and then go up to watch the courthouse, because watch the courthouse is only about an hour and 14 minutes from where I live. So I was like all geek, man. I was excited. I was like, ooh, they better hurry up and give me my paperwork. And so they finished loading the trailer. They took them about 30 minutes to load the trailer. I'm like, cool, okay, I gotta get the paperwork. They heard give me paperwork, I can go home right now. Depending on the traffic, I might be able to make it home. But so I sat in that dock for another hour and a half just waiting on paperwork. Oh, I was so aggravated. Really aggravated, y'all. When I say I was aggravated, I was not an approachable guy. I don't care who you were, I was not approachable. My whole demeanor had changed. I just was not approachable. I think I don't like being that way. But it's been a long time since I've been that way. Usually I'm an approachable type of person, but an hour and a half go by, and I'm doing the trip planning, and I was like, well, if they don't hurry up, this load ain't get delivered on time. It's due at 9 o'clock the next morning. I was like, there ain't no way it's gonna get delivered on time. So I did the math, and I was like, okay, earliest I can probably get there, maybe it's 10:45 in the morning, which is about an hour and 45 minutes late. Like, maybe they'll let me slide in on that, but nope. I even sent a message to my dispatcher. I said, this load is gonna be late. I'm gonna get there about 10:45 is what I told him. And I said they're holding me hostage with paperwork. And I'm like, I'm livid. Like, I am so livid because I already know what's gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. So I sent a message to my dispatcher. He said 10-4. And that was his cue to be calling Walmart or emailing Walmart, whatever they do over there. Let them know the load's gonna be late, and they gonna accept the load, and then they can go from there. But I said, okay, I let them know. I did my part. So, he just told me to keep them posted, and so I finally get my paperwork. I'm telling you, I was very unapproachable. The person that came out and gave me the paperwork, I'm usually a friendly guy. I usually try to be friendly and respectful to people bringing paperwork and stuff. How's it going? Small talk. Have a great day. Thank you. Respect. You got to give it to get it. So, but I was not approachable to that person. I was just, nope. There was even a driver next to me, and I'm usually not this abrasive, y'all. This how aggravated I was. I'm usually not this abrasive, but there was another driver next to me. He said, how do you know when they're done? I said, they'll bring the paperwork out to you. And I also said, loud enough for that person who brought the paperwork out to hear me. I said, they'll take longer to bring you your paperwork than it is they take to load your trailer. And he just shook his head. And I was loud enough for the person to hear me. And I was like, I'm usually not that abrasive. I usually keep my negative comments to myself. But I was so aggravated. And, the person put the seal on the door, got my paperwork, and I didn't say nothing. Just got back in the truck and went on about my way. I was like, I'm ready to go. Let's get it. And so I got on the road and dealing with traffic and coming out of Atlanta, Georgia. Whoo, buddy, I felt like I was driving through Chicago, Illinois. I was so aggravated. That's how I felt. I felt like I was driving to Chicago, Illinois with all the traffic jams, the bad weather. Oh, I was ready to shut it down as soon as I got out of that traffic jam. I'm telling you. I just had enough. I'm like, in Atlanta, Georgia is one of those places you really got to practice defensive driving. You cannot be aggressive there because you will get into an accident. So I'm trying to hold back evil Jeremiah. He just wants to come out and play, just be a little aggressive, you know. But I said I had to hold him back, y'all. I had to hold him back. Because as I said, we don't want to get in an accident down here. I'm trying to just get out of this traffic jams and get out of Georgia as quick as I can without getting in an accident. So I survived Georgia without getting in an accident, y'all. That is something to celebrate. I celebrate it every time I get out of Georgia. I was like, I survived Georgia. I even told my wife, I said, it's going to be a while before I want to go back down to Georgia. I'm telling you, I don't want to go back down there anymore. Me and Georgia is on a breakup. So I got parked that night, and I got parked about 9 o'clock. I forgot where I parked at. But I got stopped, recalculated how long it was going to take to get to the place I was going to. I was going to get to Washington Courthouse until 11:45 in the morning. And I'm like, and my dispatcher is kind of like wants to see what happens. Now he could have contacted Walmart. Yeah, I know where this is going because I already knew where this was going when I left that shipper. He could have contacted Walmart and I already knew they were going to accept the load, but he wanted to see what happens. He was kind of like, well, let him get there and see what happens. Let's see if they'll take the load. You know, and you know what happened. I got there, sure enough, at 11:45. Check in. The guy said, what time was your appointment? I said 9 o'clock. I said, he said, did you call? Did you call anybody? Did you call the security all day? Did you do anything? Contact somebody? I said, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I told my dispatcher the load was gonna be late, and I left it up to him to contact you guys. He said, oh, I can call and see if they're gonna take the load, but he called the warehouse and said, nope, they're not gonna take it. You're gonna have to reschedule the load. So I got turned away. He's like, you know where the truck stops is? And I'm like, yeah, they're 15 miles up the road. I know exactly where they are. He said, man, go up there, get cozy, because you ain't gonna get an appointment today, but you'll be lucky if you get an appointment tomorrow. Just let your dispatcher know he needs to call and reschedule. And I said, okay, I will. He said, so I called my dispatcher, tell him, hey, look, they're not taking this load. And he goes, oh, beep. And I'm like, yeah, I censored it. But I'm like, there's no need for a no. Oh, beep. Yeah, I told you it was going to be late the day before. Before I left that shipper, I told you it was going to be late. So he's like, well, hold tight. I was like, well, I can't. They're kicking me off the property. They're literally telling me I have to go. So I have to go. So he's like, okay, well, I'm going to have to, we're going to have you drop it off he had me drop it off some random place. And, I was kind of not very happy about that. One, because they took $100 and something off that load. So instead of doing that Georgia load for all the way up to Ohio for $1,000 and some change, they dropped down to $827. And I'm like, I called him and said, hey, why did that rate con drop from $1,000 to $827? He's like, well, since you're dropping it off, we got to pay somebody. We got to pay the driver who actually delivers it. And excuse me. We got to pay the driver who actually delivers it. And that comes out of that load pay. I said, okay, whatever. And so I was like, I wasn't too happy about that because, one, I had to go put fuel in the truck, in the tank, to get it to where he wanted me to drop at, because I only put enough fuel to get it to that Washington Courthouse. and so I had to go put $50 more fuel in the tank to get it there. And so yeah, that's what I mean. My week was starting off pretty bad, and so instead of making maybe I probably would have made about $700 off that load after fuel. So thanks to him, thanks for taking that $100 and something out. I basically did that run. I did that run for $500 and something. So I just did a Georgia to Ohio for $500 something. Man, that sucks. That sucks, y'all. So I was like, okay, fine then. I'm moving on. So thanks to that, I had to go pick up my next load going to Pennsylvania. I was going to Target DC up in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania from, where was I picking that up at? Ohio. And that load was going to be late. I was going to be an hour late to that load. I'm like hoping Target DC, I haven't heard anything about Target DC turning late loads because it's late. So I'm hoping, time I get there, they don't be late. So I decided to take the long way around because I was trying to avoid the tolls. I could have got there on time. I could have got there at 7 o'clock that night if I would have taken a toll road. But I didn't. A toll road would have cost me $163. So I was like, oh, the load only paying like, to take it over there to Pennsylvania was only paying like, I think $900 and something, $992. And then I got to put fuel on top of that. I was like, I ain't taking no toll road. Like, I got to take fuel out too. I'm like, no, I'm going to take the non-toll road. So that instead of going from the turnpike over to Pennsylvania, I'm going to tell you the route I took. I took, what does that take? I hit 15, then I took 33. I took a bunch of back bypasses. So I went from Ohio over to West Virginia. Then I hit Pennsylvania, and then I hit 79 South, drove down into Maryland, and then I hit 81 North, going back up into Pennsylvania, just to avoid the toll road. And I'm gonna tell you, the trip there, this is where it gets worse, seriously bad worse. Yeah, I'm gonna tell on myself. I already called my company, told on myself. But y'all, I got pulled over in Maryland off of 68, right next to, I believe what's called Frogstown Way Station, was closed, and I was on the phone with my wife. And the sad part is I've driven that interstate so many times and passed that scale house so many times. I'm driving for the company I used to drive for before I came to Thomas E. Keller. And I knew the speed limit was 45, but I thought it was 45 way past the scale house. So I'm up going past the scale house. He clocked me at 68. And I thought that 45 started like after the scale house. I didn't think it started before the scale house. And the next thing I see is lights flashing. I'm like slowing down, trying to see what this DOT officer is doing. And he's like slowing down next to me, but he's still up in the scale house. And I was like, I told my wife, I said, I'm gonna have to call you back. I think I just got a speeding ticket. And so I pulled over, and he comes to the side of the truck, and he says, can I get your license and registration? I said, okay, sure. I gave him a license, and I'm looking for the registration, which I thought was on the tablet, because they got a lot of this, the proof of insurance, if everything is on this tablet. And if a cop or a police officer needs to see it, all you can do is show them, hey, it's right here on the tablet, and you can either email it to them or what, I think, or you can just show them. So I was like, yeah, and I'm looking on the tablet, and I couldn't find this registration. So I was like, man, I really hate to tell the officer this, but I was like, man, there ain't no registration on this truck. He was like, okay, that's fine. I'll look it up, see what I find out with your driver's license. And it was like, he said, y'all know I got lights all around the perimeter of my truck. Blue and white lights, just for this winter snow and stuff like that. He said, I like your lights. I was like, oh, cool. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I said, I appreciate that. Try to be a little festive. And so he liked my lights, y'all. He liked my lights. And so he goes out to do his thing. I'm sitting there. He comes back, says, I'm going to issue a citation warning. It doesn't issue no points or go on your record, which it does. It does. I'm going to issue a citation warning for 68 and a 45. I was like, you know what? I know a lot of people say take the ticket, ask them to write the ticket so you can fight it. But look, I'm the kind of guy, if I was doing it, I was doing it. I'm caught red-handed. I ain't about to, because I had to take off work to do that. And I ain't about to take off work to go to court down in Maryland. Sorry, y'all, I ain't about to do it. I ain't about to take all that money out of my pocket. I just take my lump and I go with it. I wasn't about to fight something I was doing wrong. There was no need to fight it. I was doing wrong. Whether I was aware of it or not, I was doing wrong. And I learned a very, very valuable lesson. I always do 45 going past Maryland Scale House, whether it's open or closed. I wasn't about to take off of work to go travel down to Maryland to go where I need to go to fight it. I know my safety department said it's worse to actually get a citation warning than it is to get the ticket. He said, we can't fight him once you get a citation warning. I was like, well, I don't want you to fight it. I was caught. There was nothing I could do about it. It's going to be on my record no matter what. And I can't say anything that would have changed any factor, even if I was to go to court about it. So I wasn't about to have to go to court, waste my time, and a judge upholds the officer finding, and now I got to pay court fees and what have you. So no, I wasn't about to waste my time doing that. I understand where they're coming from, but I'll take my lump and go home. Live to see another day. I'm just glad he didn't write that ticket. I know wasn't about to ask him to write that ticket either. I'm sorry, I wasn't about to. My safety department told him. I told her, I said, telling on myself. She was like, what in the world did you do? I said, I got a citation warning for speeding. She was like, how fast were you going? She was like, were you going 10, 15? I was like, you don't want to know. It was that bad, y'all. That is bad. That is terrible. I was like, oh my God, I don't got a single speeding ticket on my license except for that one that day. Up until then, and those speeding tickets. I was like, So I lost my safety bonus because of that. My 1% safety bonus, I lost that. So I might come a little close to this next. For 3 months, I lost it for 3 months. So I'm glad. It could be worse. I'm very appreciative. They didn't say, well, we're going to let you go because that was a little too much. So, yeah, I was like, man, and I was pulling over. I was like, of course, the way this week is going, how could I not get pulled over, for something? So I went on by my merry little way, got up to the DC Target, delivered that, and I left there the next morning. I did my 10-hour break at the receiver, and then I went to go pick up my next load, which supposed to have been a drop and hook, but they told me they didn't have no trailers no Thomas E. Keller trailers for the load, so it turned into a live load. And I'm like, of course, the way it's going. So yeah, I sat there for a live load at Mott's in Asper, Pennsylvania. Then I took that over to Walmart DC for a drop and hook over in Gas City, Indiana. And And that was easy breezy, drop and hook. And then I was going to go pick up my next load, which was going to go from Indiana to Napoleon, Ohio. But that load got canceled. They said their line went down, so they canceled all Thomas Keller E. Keller loads. So I'm like, okay, cool. My dispatcher called me and said, look, they canceled that load, so we're just gonna have you go pick that load up in Defiance and go home with it. I was like, okay, cool. I don't got no problem with that. I know that's $600 that I probably would have liked to be on my check, but it's not. So I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. I'm ready to go home anyway. So I was like, I'm ready to go home. That was already doing too much work to get home. I like to take the easy way, just pick up a load, go home with it. I don't like to go pick up a load, deliver a load, to go pick up another load, to get to the load that I need to pick up to go home with it. I like to just pick up a load, go pick up a load, and then go home. Less resistance. It's more easier that way. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. I'm ready to go home and end this terrible week and get my next week home started. Yeah, so I was glad to get home, y'all. I was glad to get home. So, y'all, that's my week. I'm going to tell you what I do know about my previous week settlement. I'm going to tell you the basic, the gist of it. The most important part of it. So, what I did is, for that whole week, let's see, I'm trying to, let me see if I can get home on here. I think they got a calendar on here. All right, so for February, this is for the February 13th through the 18th. Or is it? Yeah, February 13th through the 18th, I believe. 14th. Yeah, February 13th through the 18th. That week, I spent a total of $998 on fuel, which is amazing. Especially when fuel prices going up. I like to stay under average. Your average truck, it costs about $1,200 on fuel a week to fuel up. So anytime I come under $1,200, I say that's a pretty good week. $998. I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, that's up from what I was averaging when I first started. When I first started, I was averaging about $729, $730, $750 a week. My truck grossed that week $5,000 and I believe $5,000. I want to say $449. Give some, take some. Out of that $5,000, I took home $2,989. So I had an actual really good week that week. I don't know what last week looked like, but that week was a pretty good week. It was a better week than I thought it was going to be. But I'm going to have to end the conversation here, y'all. Y'all keep the sunny side up, the rubber side down. Remember, so wave at your fellow drivers driving down the road, cheer somebody up, make somebody's day. I know it makes my day, plus I got nothing else to do. If you make sure you like the video, subscribe. If you like the content, hit the like button, smash that like button. If you got any questions, comments, put them in the comments below. I may make a video on just a question you asked. If it's a really good question, I think everybody is probably going to ask me. Personally respond back to it, or I will shoot a video in response back to it. So until next time, peace.